for worshippers of Nazareth are found across the lands, though their worship takes different forms. In Thirfen, there is even a druidic cult called the Hands.
Okay.
Okay. So you know religion-y stuff, Skara.
Oh, I do. I forgot about that.
Yeah, actually, as general knowledge, do we recognize this god name?
Yeah.
Yes. Nazareth is like the main god.
Okay.
She's basically the sun goddess.
Oh.
She's a lizard folk. And like she's depicted as being her scales are like gold, and she shines
Like
in the
a
light.
sun.
Yeah.
Oh. How widely, like, how, like, the whole map that we just saw, would that whole map be region that would worship this pantheon, or?
Oh no. It's not like a one religion deal. I think it's a little bit more diverse than that.
So how widespread is it?
Do you want to roll religion?
Sure. I'm probably
Okay.
interested in this since
Okay.
I did not roll well, you guys. I rolled a 3.
Oh.
Your leg is still smarting from where Tlaloin hit you. You're not very
I'm just
focused.
like, that sounds religious.
Well, I could roll religion. I could also probably roll history. Like to see if I know like this cult that was mentioned, like if I know about history stuff relating to them. Can I do like a general religion thing to know about like the general religion stuff and like a history thing to know if I know anything about the history of the cult?
I suppose. I don't. When you say general religion stuff, that's not very specific, so I'm not exactly sure what you're asking.
Like how widespread this stuff is and significance of like different forms of worship of this particular god.
Yeah, sure, you can roll to see
Okay.
about that.
Okay. I did not roll well either. I I do have a nice bonus, so I rolled a 7.
A 7.
Yes.
I mean, you definitely know of Nazareth. You haven't really studied specifically on where exactly the boundaries are on who worships her or not, and it's going to be kind of scattered and sporadic. There's not going to be neat lines. But you definitely know that she's big in your country.
Okay. Then I guess now for history.
And I mean, when I talk about Nazareth, it's not just her, it's like the whole pantheon is that religion is big in AraMyth.
Yeah. Would you say it's like a majority or just a plurality?
I'd say a majority of the people worship this pantheon, or at least like, I mean, they consider them their gods, kind of.
Yeah. Okay, history roll. That landed on that did not. It landed on like a corner on my laptop, so that doesn't. I couldn't tell what side was up. So, okay. That's a add bonus 24.
That's pretty good.
Well,
so you do think that you have heard of like this sect called the Hands before, and you remember reading that they were considered fairly fanatic, and thus they were kind of a century or two ago were kind of pushed into the outskirts, basically, which is why they'd be in Thirfen in probably what would be lesser Thyrfen today. So they just kind of are in this rocky, inhospitable area.
Okay, so I tell the rest of the group, guys. So this cult, it was like a century ago. They were all like pushed aside into like lesser Thyrfen, and yeah, they did bad things and they were creepy.
The end.
What if they did creepy things to the guy who's dead? What if he's dead because of them doing culty stuff? Or what if he's dead because he was part of the culty stuff?
You say in hopefully a hushed whisper.
I was going to say, like, Janai, like, you can tell she's pretending not to listen, but she's definitely tilting her head your way. She's...
Oh, right, I should use my bard spell. Wait, this is a song. I roll performance to make it sound like I'm just telling a story. I rolled really badly. I have a really good bonus, but I still only rolled an 8.
Yeah, totally a song, he says, like, not even reaching, like, the strings of his bee smasher.
This is a song about culty people and a dead person who we totally didn't see. He isn't even real.
Janai kind of, like, holds her hands up and is just kind of like, please, while this is somewhat a lab and a library combined, we like to keep it fairly quiet so people can concentrate. Thank you.
Oh my god. Every day I'm just like, man, we have the dumbest characters for this game. But I love it so much.
Well, I have to put up with you guys so much.
Least I can say I'm a good person.
I'm really smart. I just also am extremely
dumb.
No common sense.
Or you just can't quite figure out when things are appropriate to do. That's okay. All right, so moving on.
I normally get by on my good looks and charm. I say this out loud by way of explanation.
Roll for persuasion.
Okay. I rolled a 25.
Oh, man.
Janai says, I believe you. If you would like to talk to other researchers to
yes, please.
Okay.
to see if they can help you and you can help them, I need to get back to work. But it was a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah. Say nice things about.
Likewise, I say.
Please say nice, good things about me to the important, noble people.
Oh, I will be sure to tell them about you.
Thanks.
I go over and like shake her hand or whatever. but since I'm so short, I have to go like, eh.
Oh.
She seems a little surprised, but she shakes your hand back.
Aw, yay.
Please do make sure that House Amarim thinks about me in an appropriately glowing way.
Glowing passion.
I will certainly have to explain something to them, I think.
Is that something I could roll about, or is that just let whatever happens happen?
Hey, you let your good looks and charm. That was a 25. She was probably super impressed by your bullshit powers.
She definitely believed that you usually get by on your looks and charm.
Yay.
Okay, well, does she like show us to someone who needs help, or do we like wander around and find someone?
Yeah, like she tells you that there are several other researchers there today who might need some help. Oh, she's just saying like one of them is Leskel, one of them is called Torp, and one of them's called Kosrit. And she kind of tells you their general locations.
Okay.
I mean, like, do they have different specialties? Is there any reason to go to one first over the other?
Leskel's currently working on translating some of our new acquisitions and categorizing them. Torp is working on House Amarim specialty, preservation magic, and Kosrit is, well, she just seems to be having some troubles lately.
Oh. I can relate.
She's just like sitting, and there's like a pile of books around her, and she's just like sobbing. She's just like.
Well, now I feel like we have to start with her.
I don't know if that's what she's actually doing, but I had this like very clear like picture in my head of this like extremely dorky girl being like, I can't find what I'm looking for.
I feel like we need to start with her.
Okay, I guess we're going to Kosrit.
Okay.
That description, I just feel for her.
Okay. So you go to a kind of out of the way area and you find actually this dwarf, and I suppose she's probably in a similar situation to what Anna described. She's just kind of
yes.
She's sitting at a work table, but she's just kind of listless and not seeming to be able to focus very well.
Aww.
Oh.
Finally, someone that I don't have to like look up to talk to.
Oh.
And I'm like, hi, Kosrit. Shania told us that you might need some help. Is there anything we can help you with? Oh, by the way, I'm Scarlet, and this is Sloan, and this is Blythe.
And we're on our best behavior.
Oh, hi. Hi.
We just stare at her. Oh, man, I love her. We only know 2 sentences about her, but she's so adorable.
Yeah.
Hi. So, can we help you with anything? We'd love to help. You look really sad.
We have nothing else to do.
Helping people is our purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know of anything. I just can't seem to concentrate right now.
Would you like some bardic inspiration?
So let him sing again.
She just kind of stares distractedly at you.
I feel like every time Ben's giving us bardic inspiration, he thinks that he's like singing to inspire us, but really he's inspiring us to like get it over, the encounter over with, so that he can finally stop singing. And I'm like, have you Can you tell us what you've been working on? I say, pointing at the pile of stuff.
Sadness. The pile of sadness.
Yeah, the pile of sadness. You look like you could take a break.
Yeah, well, breaks don't seem to be helping either. I don't know.
Oh man. I don't know how to help her. I guess I'll just sit there.
I can't think of any skill check that would help figure out what she needs help with.
We can,
What about, like, insight or perception?
I could try rolling versus
I could do a
insight.
deception check.
I could I have no mod of insight.
I could do something like try to pump her up and then do like a charisma.
Or I could just say I'm usually pretty good at finding information. Is there anything that like I could help you figure out where you would need to go to find information on a topic? Possibly. What topic are you looking for information on?
She's just like, I don't know.
It's all so meaningless now. I should know this place better than you anyway. I don't know what you can do to help. You could try helping someone else.
No, I really love you the most. and I'm like, no, with the power of my charismatic self, I will help you through this slump by giving you a motivational speech of support, even though we just met. You don't know me. But by golly, you can get through this. We all have some hard times anyway, and hey, if you need a distressor, here's this cat you can pet. Edward likes pets.
She, like, accepts the cat onto her lap, but she just kind of still stares distractedly off.
No!
I don't know why I'm just like, we could just easily move on to someone else. But I'm like, no, I just need to like shake her or something back into being alive or something.
It was just so easy to relate to her.
Yeah, I know. This is how I felt all semester. Life is meaningless.
This character represents all millennials.
No.
And I'm like, how about we leave Edward with you for a little bit and we can go try helping someone else and come back and see how you're doing.
She nods, but I don't know, it's almost like she doesn't completely understand. She's just very listless.
What if she's under a spell?
I mean, you could check if you want.
I don't know I think the most that Arcana could do, I guess, would be telling me if there's a spell that has these symptoms.
Wait, I still want to do like a charisma roll to see if I can like entice her back into being motivated.
Would that be persuasion?
I could do persuasion too. Can be like, hey, you could totally do this, and we could totally help you. You just need to tell us.
Tell us what's wrong.
Tell us.
Help us help you.
Tell us.
I mean, you can try.
Okay, I'll try. I'll do it. I'm trained in persuasion. I rolled very well. I got a 23.
She looks at you hopefully for a minute, like her eyes wide, but she just kind of falls back into her listlessness.
Okay, I don't like this.
I'll just roll versus Arcana to see if, like, I know of any magic things that have this result. I rolled a 14.
I mean, man, I rolled as best as I could without rolling a nat 20. I rolled a 19, and my modifier was a +4. So if I couldn't persuade her out of her melancholiness, then I don't know. She's hopeless.
Okay. Do I know anything?
Maybe a curse would have effects like that, but you don't know really what's going on with her.
Okay.
Is there, by looking, does she have her research around her?
Oh yeah, let's look at what she has around her.
Yeah, because maybe if it's about the same topic, maybe we could look at that and maybe learn something about that.
Yeah. Can I do a perception roll for her research?
Sure.
Okay, should we all do that?
I mean, I don't know if you need to.
Yeah, I mean, it's right there. I feel
there's also investigation.
I think it's more of like whether we understand what's on it.
So should I roll investigation to, like, investigate what she's researching?
Just let Laura do her roll.
Okay.
I rolled a 17.
17. That's pretty good. You look kind of like at the books scattered around her, and they seem to be generally on the topic of Thyrfen, and probably especially you would notice it since I'm not sure if I'm going exactly with lizard folk are cold-blooded, but you notice it does seem a little colder around here.
Like around the books?
In this area.
Oh. Wait, what?
This is all suspicious.
What is she researching?
Thyrfen.
Yeah.
A place that has that druidy cult.
Oh.
Okay, so that... Oh, man, it's like, maybe this is nothing, but I'm like, it can't be nothing. So either there's something shifty going on with, like, the actual materials, or there's something shifty going on, like, with her, or something on her person, or something affecting her in some way.
So are these books about Thyrfen in general, or is there, like, a focus on, like, history or geography or culture or religion or any specific topics?
I did feel that cold shiver earlier. Is that related, or am I just remembering that? I
don't think Emily's going to tell you.
Damn it.
Why do you think I'd tell you?
I don't trust any of this, that's why.
You could try rolling insight.
Oh, I don't like this. I don't like any of this. This is so suspicious.
So is there a theme to the books, or is it just Thyrfen in general?
It seems like it's all sorts of things about Thierfen, but you gather that with the tasks that you were put to before, it might relate to figuring out trade things.
Ooh. I have no idea where to go from here, but okay, that's information.
I mean, trade things. Like,
best routes, best commodities to take and get, anything culture might affect, is just all sorts of stuff.
Can I do, like, maybe, I'm starting to think that there's, like, a possibility that, like, there's something maybe wrong with her. I don't know if it's magically inclined or not. I don't know what kind of check it would be to see if she seems healthy, I guess.
Medicine?
It might also be perception. Like trying to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, I think maybe a perception check of like...
specifically on her.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll try one of those. Okay, I rolled a... Oh, right, I forgot. I get a -1 to my perception roll.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
So I did poor. I got a 7.
Oh. So what exactly does investigation cover?
It's when you're looking for a specific thing or in a specific area, like, well, the thing that springs to mind would be like a crime scene. You would investigate a crime scene to look for clues.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's not really applicable here because we're not...
I think I might do a medicine check too, just to be like, maybe she needs some potatoes in her veins.
Okay.
Just an injection of straight up potatoes. Oh, well, that was a much better roll. And I'm trained in medicine, so maybe I would be able to be like, oh, are these symptoms of like an illness or something? So, I got, with my bonus, I got a 19.
That is a good roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of go through some motions. Her pupils are still dilating, or so, I don't know. She seems fairly cold to the touch, like colder than she should be. And your paladin senses are tingling.
Oh, no. No, not my paladin senses. As in, like, like something. I'm like, oh man, I don't. Well, at this point, I think there's something legitimately wrong.
Yeah.
And I conveyed this to you guys. I'm like, she feels cold. She doesn't seem to be. I mean, like, look, I'm just like, making like, asking her to like follow my finger or whatever, and she's just like staring blankly at the like wall or whatever. and like whatnot, and I'm like, this doesn't seem right. I don't know, maybe we should go find Janai or something, and I don't know, maybe...
And just tell her that something's up?
Yeah, or like, I mean, I don't I don't even think we should, like, leave her alone, because I don't know. This seems weird.
Well, do you want to get Shania and I can watch her?
Sure. I can go find her.
Okay, and Bly can either... What do you want to do, Bly?
I'll stay with you.
Yeah, okay. We probably don't need two people to go find her.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy system.
Buddies. So I'm just like, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I remembered the rule about being on our best behavior, so I try to go find her.
Yeah, and while she's doing that, I'll just look at the books a little more. And, like, I don't know, would that be investigation, to just try to investigate if I can see anything unusual about the books?
I guess you could do investigation.
Okay, I just want to do something while Anna's doing her thing. I rolled a 16.
They're books.
The end.
You don't really notice anything odd about them.
Except that they're evil.
Okay.
Side comment, my cat decided to, like, rub all over my sweater, and now I'm just 99% cat fur.
Yeah, that happens.
Okay. I assume Janai isn't, like, too far off, since this was the first person we went to after helping her out.
Yeah, well, I mean, you skipped the other two that she was talking about and went kind of to the back, but...
Oh. Were we supposed to do it in a different order?
You still can if you want. No, So, Janai's back at the front, like, at her work desk, kind of, going through some different papers.
And I'm like, hey, Janai. So, we went to see Khazra, and, something seems really wrong, and I kind of explain what I noticed about, you know, her being unfocused and really cold. And I'm like, I know a little bit about medicine, and, like, I've treated my bajillion siblings before, and I don't know if she's sick or if something else is wrong with her, but we don't quite know what to do with her. Maybe you could help.
She frowns a little bit and comes with you, and she kind of looks Khazra over and is kind of like, yeah, I suppose she's gotten a bit worse today. I'll probably have her checked out a bit later. I don't want to hold you up. I know that you're here for a specific reason, so you can continue on to someone else if you want. I can call for someone to look into this.
What she said intrigues me, so I'm like, so this has been going on for, or at least progressing for several days now, I ask.
Well, yes, I told you she's been having some problems lately.
Me as Anna is laughing because I'm like, not me as Skara. I'm just like, ha ha ha, that's funny. No.
But maybe you're right. Maybe she's contracted something, so I can see about calling in a doctor or something.
And I'm like, do you promise?
Yes, I promise. At House of Merum, we don't just, like, throw out our researchers when they get a cold or something. We take care of our people.
Okay, do I believe her? Do I insight check to see if I believe her? I probably do. Yep, I sure do, because I just rolled a 2.
With a 2, you're suspicious of her.
Oh, would I be? Oh. Okay, I'd be like, okay, I take out a piece of scrap paper from my pocket and a pencil, and I write down the paladin address, and I'm like, you need to let me know when she feels better. She has to, or you or her, need to write me a letter to let me know she's okay.
I also send Ascara an aside in a message, which I guess I'm doing the pointing thing.
Point!
Oh my god.
By the way, I mean, since Janaya is a magic person herself, she probably knows what's going on with that.
Well, anyway, I say they may not throw out their researchers, but they do throw out the sons of their dynasty if they marry people they don't want to marry. Just saying.
And I'm like, okay.
So you're trying to fuel her paranoia.
Thanks for fueling my paranoia then. Well, anyway, I give her the, like, by the way, this note has been this, like, scrap paper is from, like, I don't even know what. It's been in my pocket for several days now, and it might be slightly moldy in the corner.
It's been used as a tissue once or twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
She takes it between 2 fingers and smiles at you and is like, of course.
I'm like, okay. I guess. No, I'd carry her to her bed myself, but I guess if you've got this, I guess I'll believe in you. I say, very strained.
Please, leave it to us. You can continue with your problem that you're trying to research. So do you actually move on now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also because I don't want to draw out this one too long.
So the other 2 that you were told about were like a researcher named Leskel, who's working on translating and cataloging old texts, and Torp, who is working on preservation magic.
Well, so let's go opposite order.
I feel like preservation magic could be relevant to, like, dead body preservation, weird looking diseasey thing, possibly. Translation could be relevant to some of our skill sets as well, though, since we have languages.
You can, in fact, go to both of them.
Oh, man. We should go to both of them, I say.
Okay.
Would you like to go to one of them first?
Hey, speaking of languages, apparently I speak Carthan. Where do they speak Carthan?
Oh, Carthan is kind of like the scholarly language.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So are, like, a lot of the books around here written in Carthan, like in this library, or is it pretty much AraMythic?
There is... there are books written in all languages, mostly AraMythic, but some of them Carthan, but they obviously seem to translate a lot of their texts.
Okay, we're going to see Torp next, because why not do it in the opposite order of what you gave us?
Okay. So you find your way to a different little nook in this library, and this definitely looks a little bit more lab-like. Um, Torp himself is a fairly burly elf, and he has like this vat of blue-green liquid near him, and he's kind of like writing on a clipboard.
He's just dipping the books in there, like, whoop.
To preserve stuff?
I don't know, we can ask him. We're like, hi, Torp. And I introduce us.
We heard you were doing preservy stuff?
And you might need help.
Yes, actually. I have been working on, well, House of Merrim's specialty obviously is preservation magic, but I've been working on preservation magic for still living organisms.
Ooh. This is Anna being like, not like Scara being like, I see. Tell us more.
Well, what I'm working on right now, I have been working with this liquid to try to, I don't know, give some of the preservation benefits to people, and I've been testing it out on, well, rats and such, and it seemed safe so far, but I would like an intelligent subject so I can then ask them about their thoughts and feelings and emotions after the process.
Clown would love to help you.
Yeah, this is true. How did you know?
The problem is I forgot to prepare any water-breathing spells today, and my test subject didn't come in today, and just on, and
oh, well, if you need a test subject...
Yes?
He's volunteering.
Yeah. I like being experimented on.
It's funny because I was going to be like, no way, me. And like, of course, Bly's not going to agree to this.
I'm not. Nope.
The problem is,
I have a message spell, so I could message people from whatever.
The problem is, like I said, I forgot to prepare water-breathing spells, and you'd have to be submersed in the vat for a couple minutes.
And
well, that's not something I have an ability to do.
I'm like, can't you just fashion a breathing tube out of something? It's what we used to do when me and my siblings used to go swimming in the lake. There's a lake now. It's not really a lake. It's too small to be a lake, but we called it a lake.
It's a lake when you're a dwarf.
Well, just time and things. You can do it if you would like, but I just have so many things to do today.
What other things?
I need to fine-tune this other spell and just...
Well, is there anything we can help with?
mean, the only thing I really need help with is I need a test subject. So if you can find a way to hold your breath for a couple minutes.
Yeah, I was saying go with the breathing tube idea. Just, well, first you'd have to find one, but like after that, the plan just, makes itself. I offer intelligently. Or, find yourself some siblings because, we had contests to see how long we could stay underwater for. Some of us could go pretty long.
Are you telling me I should find some siblings to drown?
No, I'm just saying that thanks to my brothers and sisters, I can hold my breath for I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. That's pretty long. How long do people
would you like to be my test subject?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I just talked myself into this one, didn't I? I was like, here, let me create some backstory. My siblings and I used to drown each other for fun.
I mean, I'd be happy with whoever. I just, I'm on the clock here, so if you could make up your mind, that would be great.
Sure. I mean, and you promise this won't, kill me?
Oh no, it hasn't killed any of the creatures I've tested on previously. I can't, ask rats about what they experienced while being in there.
Oh, wait, but Ben, you have your talk to animals spell.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I can talk to animals for you if that would help. I mean, and have them actually respond.
I left them at home today, and,
Yeah, so we have Edward.
Would you like to use a cat?
Ben could not talk to Edward.
Oh, right, that's true.
Oh, that's true. Oh, dang it. Oh, we are so close. Okay, fine. I volunteer as tribute.
Just going to say, this being a library, we probably could find a spider.
Have you tried talking to spiders before? They're never intelligible.
They're cute, though. They're all like, oh, spider.
And then I have to, fish them out because they can't swim back up. They just kind of sink to the bottom.
Oh. That's sad. Okay, well, I volunteer as tribute.
Okay, well, I guess I can message with you while you're in it. Will she be conscious while she's submerged?
Yeah, so I can...
Yes.
I would hope that part would be...
So I can talk with her while she's in there, as long as I point at her.
Well, okay, apparently the longest Guinness World Record for holding your breath is 19 minutes and 30 seconds. So I think I can do it. If that's the longest Guinness World Record, then I can sure do it for 4 or 5 minutes.
Is it like a constitution roll?
Oh yeah,
I'm doing it.
Constitution checks.
I'm doing it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
Why am I agreeing to this? Because I want to be helpful. That's why.
Okay, so I guess you kind of step up. He gets a little stepped stool for you, so you can kind of
I think I take off most of my armor too, just so I'm not
probably a good idea. So you just kind of get into that vat and you kind of sink slowly in it. it's a fairly viscous liquid and feels kind of cold and.
It feels just like the lake. This is not a clean lake, you guys.
And looking out, the world is just kind of strange because you're looking through this blue-green stuff through glass, and you're just kind of floating in there.
Okay.
Some time passes, and you start to feel like you really want to take a breath, so roll a Constitution check.
Sure. Okay. I got a 14.
Okay, so you're still fine right now, but you're have to just keep going in there. So I guess after another half minute passes or something, roll another Constitution check.
Sure.
Should I try messaging her also?
I mean, you could. You figure that Torp can also just ask her after she gets out.
Oh.
She's probably not going to immediately forget everything that happened to her.
Oh, okay.
I rolled better. I got a 19.
Okay, that's good.
I'll just message and sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna send like a message being like, "Hey, how's it going?"
And I don't reply because I can't. Because don't I have to like whisper it, right? I don't think I can reply with just my brain waves, right?
How does that spell work, Ben?
It just. I'll see what the description actually says again.
You could always just like glare at him or smile or just whatever you want.
Sure, I'll give him 2 thumbs up because I rolled a 19.
Okay.
It just says can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. So I don't know if that's a real whisper or a magic whisper or what.
I send him in 2 emoticons of thumbs up.
Okay. Another half minute rolls around and it's getting like quite a bit more difficult. You really want to take a breath, so do another Constitution check.
I rolled an 18.
Okay, somehow you can still like keep your breath.
I'm telling you, my siblings were awful people.
Torp kind of like motions that you can come up now, but roll one more Constitution check.
Sure. I got an 11.
Okay. You do notice that as you're kind of leaving this liquid, you feel a little bit sluggish now. And that's just going to be a -1 on dex-based activities for a while.
Okay. I'm going to write it.
Okay, so then you kind of like emerge from this vat, like popping your head up, and you kind of blink for a bit because at first it still kind of looks like you're still in that liquid, and you realize that your vision is tinged slightly blue right now.
That sounds like when you... Have you guys ever worn those like crappy 3D glasses and then you only look like through one at a time? You look through the red one and then through the blue one. That's what it's making me think of right now.
Sure.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
So Torp kind of like helps you up as you're getting out and is saying, so how was it? Did everything seem to go normally?
I was like, seemed fine. I feel kind of sluggish and things are kind of blue. Literally.
Interesting. That's an interesting side effect. I will mark that down.
And let me tell you, this was pretty gross. Just like the lake back home. Good times.
He makes a few notes, and then asks you a few more questions. They're probably fairly inconsequential things.
Like those typical survey questions.
I don't know, like feeling dizzy, nauseous, anything, like any other side effect sort of questions.
I'm like, no, I just kind of feel kind of sluggish and slow. Not.
Alrighty then.
And, seeing blue.
Okay, well, good to know, good to know. Thank you for helping me with that. I heard Janai telling people that we were going to be doing this whole divination research thing if people helped us, so would you like me to do that for you?
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I say siphoning the goop off of me.
Yeah, it's just like caked in your hair now, and it's like a gel almost.
Oh, perfect! Like, I could style my hair real crazy now.
Yeah, you could give yourself a mohawk, spikes in your beard.
Oh, I love it. I do. Yeah. I do that. I'm like, hey, if this doesn't work out the way you wanted it to, this is great product for your hair. I say it.
Can I help you style?
Sure.
Okay. Should I roll versus
Oh my god.
something
your ability to style?
Would that be a performance on the clock, so...
Sorry.
No, we can do the divination thing first.
Okay. Would that be performance?
Alright, so you folks are focusing on your question?
Yeah, same as before, right?
Okay, and the same sort of thing happens to him. He kind of does a little spell and his eyes go white. And the information he gives you is... It starts at their fingertips a few days after death, a creeping whiteness leaching the life out of their skin. The process continues for several days, spreading almost to the elbow, though surely different points of contact would yield different results. And again, he comes back to normal, doesn't seem to know what he said to you.
Okay, points of contact is... that clearly sounds like what we were listening to before. Points of contact implies that it's the result of, coming into contact with something, although whether it's coming in contact with specifically a poison, a cursed item, some kind of creature, something deliberate weapon, that wouldn't be clear from this excerpt. But that does mean that there's this creeping white decay phenomenon that might be look-upable. I say this in a message by pointing at people.
And I'm like, yes. I point back and like a little bit of goop just like flings off of me.
Well, all right, folks. I hope that helped. I have to get back to my fine-tuning, but you're free to ask others for help as well if you help them.
Okay. I wonder if we can find any sources on this. If only that thing gave us a word for what that actually phenomenon was. If there's like a card catalog, we could just like search for white, creepy...
creepy white spready.
Yeah.
Your returned result is mayonnaise.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm gonna try Googling this now.
No.
Okay, so you leave that little nook and I assume you go somewhere else.
Let's go to Lascal. Did I say that right?
Lascal.
That was close.
Although along the way, you kind of pass by Cosrit's Nook again, and you notice a couple things. First of all, everyone notices that Janai isn't there anymore. She's gone off to do something. And Skara, through the blue haze, you can see kind of like a ball of white light hovering behind Cosrit.
Oh.
Oh.
Hmm.
And the rest of us cannot see this?
Right.
And the guy was testing me. He was testing like a preserving thingy. He was like, oh.
He also didn't know what kinds of side effects might happen.
Right. Well, I relay this to you guys.
I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a thing that I am not seeing. Sorry, what?
I'm not seeing it either.
I think I should check my Arcana knowledge to see if this sounds like something I know things about.
It kind of makes me think that it's like a spirit.
Oh, maybe you could check your religion knowledge.
Because, like, you know, ghosts, if they're in a space, tend to make you cold.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'll check my Arcana knowledge and see if I know anything. And I know... I
know nothing.
I know an 11.
You know that there are things. I don't know. I'm at a loss.
Okay.
You've done so many checks about Cosrit's situation. No, that's okay.
I make a very pensive expression, and I solemnly look in Skara and say, I know that there are things.
Well, I'm thinking if Torp's still around, I should let him know, considering this seems weird. We were definitely talking to her earlier, and I never saw a big floating sphere of, like, a ghostliness, maybe. Who knows?
Then, as you're discussing this, you almost, like, sense another gaze on you, Skara, and
oh no!
It seems to realize that you can see it now. And
I do not like this.
I'd say roll initiative, but it might be getting late. I know Anna wanted to leave at a certain time because
it is getting late. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this, but I think we have to leave it on the cliffhanger.
Oh, man.
I don't like any of this.
What if we end just with rolling initiative?
No.
Are you going to remember the numbers?
No, but you could write them down.
So you want me to remember everything?
We could write them down.
But that's where we'll leave it for tonight. Facing down this evil sphere.
Oh no, not the evil sphere.
Evil spirit?
Ah.
That's stretching it a little bit.